told by two different sources. One said Shedeur, Chris, will start the last 4 games of the season. Another person said he could be in play earlier than that.
Hello, football fanatics. If you believed that Cleveland's most significant story was the Browns' 31-6 thumping of the Dolphins, you were mistaken. The entire Browns community is buzzing after Tony Rizzo's incredible set during his morning program. We are discussing insider knowledge. We are discussing adjustments to the starting quarterback. Furthermore, we're discussing Shedeur Sanders possibly taking over this club at any cost. So fasten your seatbelt because this one is crazy. Let us establish the scenario. Miami just lost to Cleveland 31-6. The defense was completely outstanding. They made two Tagovailoa players appear totally bewildered out there, with 3 interceptions and 4 total giveaways.
Not happy, not proud of where I'm at with my play, with how I've gone about things this year.
Quinn, the Dolphins' defense was completely overrun by Sean Judkins. This was a statement win on paper. This is where things start to get interesting, though. Dillon Gabriel only managed 116 yards on 13 of 18 plays. Take a moment to process that. In a decisive victory, your starting quarterback was unable to break 120 yards and only completed 18 passes. There are no touchdown throws. Furthermore, this is not a singular problem. Gabriel has thrown the ball 71 times without making a touchdown pass in his last 2 games. Their big play receiver, Jerry Jeudy, was clearly irritated on the sidelines, which is even more telling. 17 yards from 2 catches. You don't pay a man like Jeudy for that. And what did Kevin Stefanski do as Cleveland entered the red zone? He ran the Wildcat offense with Judkins after removing the ball from his quarterback's hands. Wildcat has not been used by the Browns since the time of Joshua Cribbs. We were conversing more than 10 years ago. People, that's not a vote of confidence. The coaches are yelling, "We don't trust our quarterback in scoring position." The stat sheet won't tell you this. Gabriel's story could have been very different, but he has been one defensive back away. He threw a pick yesterday that was nullified by an equivocal, illegal contact penalty. The announcers themselves agreed that the flag ought to have been raised. He threw 53 times and came close to being picked off 6 times against Pittsburgh the week before. The defender's inability to catch is the only reason those aren't on his stat line. He ought to have had 2 more picks in the London game versus Minnesota. This man continues to receive bailouts every week. Everything soars high or out of bounds when Gabriel throws downfield. Against Pittsburgh, he failed to catch Jerry Jeudy in the back of the end zone. There are actual problems with accuracy, and they are not improving. This is where things start to get hot. During his broadcast this morning, Tony Rizzo disclosed that he had conversations with 2 distinct sources at the stadium yesterday. Additionally, what they told him is beyond insane.
Shedeur, when they're going to give him a chance. And by that I mean they have to tell him he's starting on Monday. Like, it's not going to happen anytime soon, I get it, but you got the Patriots, then the bye week. I was told by 2 different sources yesterday at the stadium. One said Shedeur, Chris, will start the last 4 games of the season, no matter what. Unless the Browns win every game through the Titans week. Shedeur will play the Bears, Bills, Steelers, and Bengals. They want to see what he's got. Another person said he could be in play earlier than...
This is from reliable internal sources within the company. These rumors on Twitter aren't arbitrary. Tony Rizzo, who has spent decades covering Cleveland sports, is risking his reputation here. With a complete playbook and genuine opportunity, rather than merely garbage time repetitions, everyone wants to see what Shibuya can accomplish. And judging by Dillon's actions, that chance may present itself sooner rather than later. The story has been that Shedeur hasn't improved, that no one wants him, that he hasn't advanced, and that he doesn't understand the playbook. However, Dillon Gabriel's actions over the past 3 weeks indicate that the Cleveland Browns are still unsure of him. Reports like this, suggesting that Shedeur Sanders would start the final 4 games of the season, indicate that they are still unsure about the quarterback rotation they have set up in Cleveland. Cleveland's media doesn't help either. It's not made any better by Mary Kay Kitt. It's not made any better by Tony Grossi. Furthermore, it doesn't get any better because Kevin Stefanski is unable to respond to the straightforward questions that are directed at him in order to extinguish these fires. There are now rumors circulating that Shedeur Sanders will start the final 4 games of the season. Additionally, he is eligible to start before then. They don't know. They're taking precautions and keeping the option of switching quarterbacks open. The Browns now have Dillon Gabriel, the starting quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, the backup quarterback, Bailey Zappi, the journeyman backup, and Dillon Gabriel, the struggling rookie, waiting in the wings after Joe Flacco was traded to Cincinnati and Kenny Pickett left for Las Vegas. In addition, Deshaun Watson, who was just cleared to play after tearing his Achilles tendon, is lurking in the background. Play calling by Kevin Stefanski said it all. You are not protecting your starter when you would rather run Wildcat in the red zone than allow your quarterback to throw. That's acknowledging that you don't think he can perform when it counts most.
It's just so important in this game of football that you have that same mentality every single week. And that's something we talk about with our football team. You know, you don't take last week with you, win, lose, or draw. So, you know, obviously you celebrate those wins, but 24-hour rule is going to kick in here pretty soon, and you got.
In some ways, Cleveland's 31-6 victory raised more questions than it did answers at the most crucial position in sports. This drama is far from done, as Shedeur Sanders might start 4 games or possibly even sooner. This quarterback dispute is going to get out of control, therefore the Browns community needs to get ready. Will Dillon Gabriel make a difference? Will Rosh Hashanah be given a chance? What would happen if Watson did return to the mix? These upcoming weeks will be crucial. Everything will be scrutinized, including every game Gabriel plays, every choice Stefanski takes, and every sideline photo of Shedeur Sanders. The Kingdom of the Browns is now observing. Both the front office and the national media are keeping an eye on things. Next up are the Patriots, followed by a bye. Cleveland will have time to assess, plan, and determine whether they are truly committed to this course of action, or whether it is time to see what Shedeur Sanders can accomplish. This quarterback dispute isn't going away, that much is certain. If anything, it's going to get hotter yet. And since this is the news in Cleveland at the moment, we'll be right here covering every single development, report, and game. Keep an eye out, everyone. This is only the beginning of the story. The following episode, which may include number 2 on the set, is forthcoming. Browns fans, what are your thoughts? Should they give Shedeur a chance or continue with Dillon Gabriel? Is Kevin Stefanski doing appropriately in this situation? What about Sean Watson, who is hiding in the background? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. This quarterback issue is about to get crazy, so make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you want to see more Browns coverage. The next one, we'll see you.